Hello, Aries. This is not just for a sun, moon, rising. What I do is very brief, quick channeled messages, and it is how Aries energy is presenting in whatever house of your birth chart that you have Aries. You can look in the descriptions below for a very brief summary of which each house represents. And if you don't already have your birth chart, you can find that free online. I believe Astro Cafe is one of the places you can get it. There's a variety of sites. And with that, I do channel. The fastest way I can channel is vocally, where I will bring in my guides. And I also have a past life of mine that will often come through. Other than that, I will use what I hear, see, and intuitively gather. And with that, let us begin. Highest and most important messages for Aries, for the highest good of all. That take care, enemies are not working against you. The enemy is always within. None can truly work against you. You have autonomy to choose how you respond rather than react. Look inside and see what in you is responding. Another's opinion is theirs. Your internalization of it and how you attack yourself with that internalization is what works against you. And a message there. Thank you, Spirit. February. For those who have a question, this may be a timing card. Let me see. There is another message besides the date. What has gone cold in you? What blew out your candle? What needs to be relit, rekindled? That void, that emptiness, that space, like a room in the house where the heat isn't on. There's a place inside you. And it is time to warm that space. It may have gone cold in childhood or recently, through loss, through breakup. But there is much in that room, and many of you keep your best treasures there. You will first need to turn on the light, and gradually you will warm it. End of message. I'll turn this around. Diamond. You'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. There's a playful one coming through on this. I will try to let it come through. Laughter. There is a need for it. Don't trust people when they tell you what the most important thing is. What is most beautiful about you? It's not going to come from other people. It's going to come from that thing that makes you the happiest. Your diamond, the most beautiful thing about you, is the thing that makes you happy. Not what other people see as valuable. If it brings you joy, it is the greatest value there is. Don't let them bury your diamond, nor say it's gold. Coal was what the word was supposed to be. Don't let it say it's coal. Okay, lost the channel on that. That is a very friendly one that comes in. Is there another one from here? Yes. Broom. New home, new attitude. I had an interruption in that because I am holding these up. I can see them in the camera. I'm using, those of you know technology, I am using the front facing camera. So when I do hold these up to you, I have clear view of these things, okay? Someone would like a clarification on that, all right? I can see exactly what this is, but I can't really read the bottom, all right? So when I hold them up, and in order to give you the timestamps for all of these in the bottom, so that you can choose by the photo, I hold this up first. Oh, goodness. Why did I have to, there's something about you having to explain yourself, and it's sort of like, I just sweeping away all of that stuff that, like, I have to justify every action that I do or all my decisions to other people. You know, if I can't explain this to someone else, then I probably, you know, should I really do it? And it's just sort of like, you know, home in the sense of you, in your life, in your house, in your actions, and how you go about living. You don't have to explain yourself. You know, I mean, I would like to think that if you're watching this, you're not going around hurting people or hurting yourself. You know, clearly, if you're doing harm to yourself, then please do get help for that. And this does not apply to you, that you don't have to justify that kind of behavior. But this is positive behavior. This is, you know, really in line with your soul purpose and your spirit behavior. It does not need to be justified or explained to anyone. And for some of you, you're feeling held back because you think you have to be able to explain it and essentially get other people's approval, and you don't. What's right for you is right for you. Okay. Moving from there, we will also move on. I have two other decks to go through here, two other oracle decks. And quickly here for Aries. Feather. I'm being told that the writing on the card is not the message. Someone you know is undependable and insincere. The message is not pertaining to the language on this card other than the word feather. There is a lightness about you. A way to not feel weighed down. Being told to show you the desk card also, and please do note that the ink pens do also have feathers on them. Okay. Again, ignore what is written on the card is what I'm being told. I'll try to channel that back in. Whether in work or in play. What is it in work or play? Please, can you bring that forward? Okay, I'll tell you what I'm being shown here. The two wings here are almost as if someone flying in. There's someone who sees that better part of you, that joyful, you know, it's almost like they can, like, okay, metaphorically speaking, okay, I'll try and translate this as best I can. It's that sense of, you know, you hear the birds calling from a distance. I know it's mating. This may not be romantic or not. Place it as you will, or if it doesn't resonate, just go ahead on to the next message. But it's like someone can see you, the beauty in you, this, you know, someone similar understanding. I mean, they're not exactly the same. I mean, you can tell the feathers are different in this, but they're like-minded and yet different, but you're able to see each other. How am I supposed to translate this, Spirit? I just, sometimes I feel like when I give these messages, it's sort of like, I'm only here to give you a hint and you're supposed to figure out the rest. That's exactly why you came to get these messages, because you just wanted to have to figure out the rest. And okay. There is something in that. There is that thing of, you don't have to have all the answers. Everything doesn't have to be figured out. Enjoy the company that comes your way. You can figure out all the details and everything and try and figure out what it is this person really sees in you and all that later. Enjoy. Just get to know one another. Just get to know each other genuinely as you truly are. Not the job that you do or how pretty one looks, but the real soul level and just personality level. Get to know each other, okay? We'll move on to another deck. We're at 10 minutes and 54 seconds. Okay, I'm being told I need to pull. This is the Citadel. Gorgeous looking deck. All right, what is there for Aries? Let's do a little quick shuffle here. All right, and then what do we have for Aries? Highest message for the good of all. Archer. You're setting your sights too low. You're aiming for goals that will put you below your higher purpose. We are meant to aim towards the sky, toward a higher self. Examine your intentions, your wishes. Are they too material? Are they lowering your standards? Or are you sharing your gifts and elevating your soul? It is time to examine. Okay, end of that message. Any other messages for Aries? For the highest good of all. The Captain. Be careful of dealings before the information, all the information is brought to light. It is easy to dive in, but read the fine print. And the way I'm sensing that is that it's not a threatening, a warning thing. It's just that it could be as simple as somebody asked you, I mean, if you've got kids, somebody asked you, oh, can you help out with the such and such thing for their band class or something? And it sounds like a 2-hour commitment, or you just have to show up that day and do something. And what you don't realize is you've just agreed to basically run the whole thing, and it's going to overtake things. That is kind of the message. This isn't like a, I mean, yeah, obviously you're going to have a message anytime you're legal contracts, purchasing large, property or a car, everything. You want to do that. That's common sense. This is more of, it's just a very simple, it sounds like, oh, I'm just gonna, oh, sure, I can help you out on Tuesday for an hour. And it's like, no, you actually have to run the show. You have to make the flyers. You've got to organize the event, that kind of thing. So for some of you, if like something comes along and it's like just a little commitment, check exactly what the full commitment's going to be. Okay, I believe, is there anything else from this? I'm being drawn, there's maybe one more in here. Is there another one in here for Aries? We do have the sleeper, which is usually when I get a sleep card, that tells me that this deck is gone to rest. It is time to rest. It's kind of like I get the Four of Swords sometimes when I'm done with the tarot. So the sleeper card is letting me know. We will move on to, we have the Wild Unknown archetypes. Okay. All right. So what do we need? There is something, for some of you, you have a lot of playfulness coming your way. Like a lot of like the weight is like, there's a sense of a weight leaving. So that is for some of you. That's not in any of the cards at this time. Okay. Most important message for the highest good of Aries. We have the tear, but I want to hold it in reverse. And we did get a little hint of the animal. I feel like this is something, what I'm going to say here is I'm just going to get them out, tell you what I'm getting the information. It feels like there is a period of sadness or sorrow and stress. You know, the tears in reverse. The tears have stopped, and then we see just here, the eye is dry, it's looking up, there's more hope. So if that hasn't come to you yet, you know, keep that in mind that it's probably on the way. Okay, let's see what else we have. Most important messages that Aries needs to know. We do have the Hunter. Part of strength is not just running from the shadow, but being able to expand the light. I do feel there's a little continuation of this. Yes, there is. There's a certain acknowledgement that needs to come through for some of you. And I will put this down because I feel this is very important for some of you to hear. Okay, we did just have the tear in reverse and the dry eyes. And this is very important. What my guides are telling me is that there needs to be an acknowledgement. I mean, you have been so strong. And it was like, there was just a tiny dot of light in the distance, and it seemed like you could never get there. But you persisted. You have worked so hard. Okay? Now, if you look at it, it's like, you know, there's still going to be shadow. I mean, you know, you're not always going to be, everything's not going to be happy, joy, joy all the time. Okay? But you've pushed through the worst of the pain. And you've integrated and you've processed. And that's the important thing, is that there was an enormous amount of courage and strength and time that it took to process something that was unpleasant. And you are coming out of that. And this, I'm being told, with these rays of lights coming at you, Spirit is here to greet you. And stay open to Spirit's message. Not just, you know, not just me here reading this to you. You don't have to look on YouTube to hear Spirit. You can hear Spirit anytime you want to, wherever you are, in whatever situation you're in. You can always listen, and there will be, you know, your guides, whatever, and source, however you define source, will always be there. They will always be shining a light on you, no matter where you are. And even if you are still in the pain and pushing through and processing, they are still shining whatever light they can on you. So be aware that they're there, and they know what you're doing and how hard you're working, and are trying to assist. Okay, 1945 is the time on the clock, and we'll do one more. We do have the underworld. I'm having a little difficulty connecting to this message, Spirit. The chaos around you. Look for the bright gems. There is no place that is all darkness. I'm told another card to bring out with this. Fault line. I want to be delicate in passing this on. There's two. One is like a fault in thinking, and you know, feeling like, is that correct? Okay, this will probably be the last message because I'm losing connection here. I'm holding these so you can see them because I do hope that you'll bring your own insights to the cards. The fault in there's like a, how do I even say that? Like there's a fault in thinking, and I don't want to tell you your thinking's faulty. You're intelligent human beings. It's okay. And like we all have like kind of like those false beliefs about ourselves, and you know, we're all human, okay? But there's so much, like even in all of the crud and yuck and these worms, and the worms are actually, you know, they clean the dirt. I don't know how to say that. They're part of the earth's cleansing process. And there are these beautiful things, you know, there are bright colors and bright spots and kind of nice things to catch your attention. And some fault in thinking maybe to feel like these moments are all bad, or they're oh, thank you, guides. Okay. All right. For those of you who feel like, you know, you might be like, it's a sense of feeling punished, you know, like, why is this bad thing happening, and feeling like you did something wrong. This is not to dismiss the fact that really bad things happen to people that like are not your fault. And, you know, my personal belief is some things do happen to us that are, yeah, not for the highest good. Okay, but we get through them and we move forward, we manage. This is not that kind of a thing. This is just like the refrigerator broke and then the next day the car wouldn't start, and it just feels like sometimes life is beating you up. And it's not. It's just, that's part of the way things go. And if you start thinking, oh, well, that went wrong that day, that went wrong that day, and continue with that thought process, it's going to keep you kind of stuck in that. But it is very important to always be looking for, is there something that's going right? Did something go my way today? You know, just try and pay attention to something that, like, okay, well, these 15 things just seem to not work out today, but you know, this, that, and the other thing did work out. Balance it out. Know that there is a balance. Nature has a balance, okay? With that, I'm going to end this because, like I said, the channel is, I'm losing, I can't keep the channel going, my channel to my guides, for too long. I'm going to do it in spurts. Okay, so that's it for Aries. Like I said, I read for your placement. So wherever you have Aries, the house that it's in, I do have descriptions of the houses in the description box below. But you do need to check your birth chart, and you can get that free online. You don't have to pay anybody to do that. Okay, and then if there are other areas of your life, just check the houses, and once you have your birth chart, whatever sign you have there, you're welcome to go and look at the videos for that sign to see if that might shed some light on things or just spark your intuition. For the most part, anytime you see one of these readings, whether it's mine or someone else's, whether it's the tarot or any kind of others, they're there to spark your intuition, not just to rely solely on the reader's intuition. Okay, with that, I will hopefully see you in somewhere else in your chart.